Okay, so let's talk about an artist who is basically turning art history on its head. Her name is Hilma af Klint, and believe me, she wasn't just painting pretty pictures. No, she was building something else entirely, something mysterious. For the longest time, we all thought we knew the story of abstract art, right? You hear the names Kandinsky, Mondrian, but what if that whole story is wrong? What if the real pioneer was a Swedish woman who created this incredible body of work? We're talking over 1,000 pieces, and then said, nope, nobody gets to see this for decades after I'm gone. Now that is a mystery, and that's exactly what we're going to dig into.
I mean, think about it. We live in a world that is obsessed with being first, with getting credit. But Hilma af Klint, she was playing a totally different game. It wasn't about fame for her. It was about being faithful to something, a mission, a vision that she felt was way, way bigger than just her.
So what was this grand vision? Well, she called it the temple. And the instructions she left, they're kind of like a code, a map. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to follow these clues, step inside this secret temple, and uncover a message she was convinced wasn't for her own time, but for right now, for us.
Okay, so clue number one, we got to understand what she even meant by the temple. Because, when you hear that word, you're probably picturing a building, right? Stone, glass, the whole deal. But that's not what she was building. It was something much, much deeper. See, the temple wasn't a place you go to. It was a process you go through. She saw her paintings as these, well, like rooms or chambers. And their whole purpose was to train you, to literally change how you see things, to kind of rewire your brain to notice all the hidden connections that are all around us. So her art had a job to do. It was functional. These paintings weren't just meant to hang on a wall and look nice. They were tools. They were designed to actively do something to you, the person looking at them. The big question, of course, is how? Well, lucky for us, she actually left instructions. So step one, you can't approach her paintings like they're a math problem you have to solve. You just have to be open. Step two, start noticing the patterns. Which shapes keep popping up? Which colors are hanging out together? The meaning, she said, is in those relationships. And then step three, and this is the big one, you have to observe yourself. What's happening inside you? Do you feel calm, anxious? Because the real art isn't just on the canvas, it's the experience happening inside your own mind. Okay, let's move on to the next piece of the puzzle. And this is probably the most famous part of her story, but it's also the most misunderstood. It's all about her method. I mean, how on earth did she create these mind-blowing works? So, the story you usually hear is the spooky one, right? That she was holding seances, channeling spirits. It sounds kind of wild and chaotic. But the reality? It was so much more disciplined. She was part of this tight-knit group of 5 women. They called themselves the Five, and they treated this exploration of the invisible world with an incredible amount of rigor. Yeah, this quote just changes everything. It's like she's saying, forget what you think you know about this stuff. It wasn't about flickering candles and spooky voices. It was systematic. They would meet, they would record everything, they'd question it, they'd test it. It really was almost like a scientific experiment. Just their lab was the unseen world. And look, I get it. That word spirit can be a little loaded for some of us today. But here's the cool thing. Hilma af Klint herself wasn't hung up on the vocabulary. If spirit isn't your thing, fine. Call it intuition, call it the unconscious, call it deep pattern recognition. The label really doesn't matter. What matters is that she was tapping into a source of information that was way beyond our everyday logical thinking. Okay, so let's recap. We've got the purpose, build a temple of seeing. We've got the method, this disciplined scientific approach to the spiritual. So the third clue has to be the language she used, right? Her symbols. And honestly, this is where a lot of people just get totally stuck. Why? Because our first instinct is to try and crack the code. We want a decoder ring, The blue circle means this, the yellow triangle means that. But that's not what she was doing at all. It was way, way more sophisticated than some simple cipher. Let's just take one of her most famous symbols, the swan. You see it all the time in her work, usually in a pair, one black, one white. So yeah, it represents polarity, light and dark, masculine and feminine, you get it. But here's the critical part. It's not about them fighting. It's about their union. The whole point of the symbol is to hold 2 opposite ideas together in one beautiful, harmonious image. It's really about the difference between a sign and a symbol.
A stop sign, for example, has exactly one meaning. Stop. That's it. The conversation is over. But a symbol, the way she used them, is alive. It's like a container that can hold lots of different ideas, even ideas that seem to contradict each other. It's designed to open a conversation, not end it.
And that distinction is absolutely crucial. Think about it. Propaganda forces one meaning on you. It tells you exactly what to think. But real spiritual work, at least how she saw it, does the opposite. It doesn't give you the answers. It just gives you a bigger room to think in. Her symbols aren't walls, they're doorways.
All right, let's put it all together. We have a temple designed to train our perception. We have a scientific-like method to explore the unseen world. And we have a symbolic language that's all about holding paradox. All of this is leading us to the big reveal.
So we come back to that central question. Why? Why go through all of this? Why create this absolute masterpiece, this groundbreaking work, and then just lock it away? Why make the world wait?
The answer, it turns out, is all about timing. She just knew that the world she lived in wasn't ready. They'd see it and just call it weird or scandalous or maybe just decorative. They'd turn it into gossip. She was waiting for an audience that would be ready, an audience that could understand the language she was speaking. In a very real way, she was waiting for us.
So, is there one big idea, one single thread that pulls all of this together? The temple, the method, the symbols, even the secrecy? Is there a core message to it all? Oh yes, there is.
This is it. This is the heart of the whole thing. Union. Without violence. Just the simple, profound ability to hold two opposing things together without them tearing each other apart.
And please, don't think of this as some lofty, abstract idea. It's a skill, a practical tool for living. It's the ability to see black and white, science and spirit, you and me, and hold all of it in a bigger, more compassionate way. And the most important part, she insisted that this work has to start inside each and every one of us.
And you know, that's really why her work feels so incredibly relevant right now. She didn't hand us a book of answers. She left us a training manual. It's like a gym for your soul, a place to practice seeing the world in a completely new way.
So really, Hilma af Klint's work isn't just something to look at. It's a challenge to us, right here, right now. Because we live in a world that is constantly screaming at us to pick a side, to join a team. And her art, it just quietly invites us into a bigger room. It asks us to start practicing that very difficult but very necessary skill of union without violence. Which leaves us with a pretty big question to think about, doesn't it?